Welcome everyone to another episode of the Fight IQ series. Right now I'm using Jose Aldo going against a Frankie Edgar player. Now for those of you who kind of wonder how I kind of choose which fights are the fights I show on the Fight IQ series, obviously if it's just simply me beating people, there's not much to gain from it. So I'm always going to prefer to be having to make adjustments to a specific style. And in this case, notice how like this guy kind of took a little bit to go there and touch my glove. That was a little bit of a premonition of what kind of style I was going to have to be dealing with here. You know how he's moving his head, he's going in, out, playing a little bit of footsies. And he's taking himself just a little bit out of range to try to get me to miss. And Frankie, who has a marathoner level 3 or 4 or something like that, he recovers stamina a lot faster when he's circling. And yeah, he has pretty good footwork. And on top of on top of that, like, you see how easy it is for him to go in and out. So in this case, I have to make my reads, my adjustments to how this guy's playing. The best thing to do is just to make sure I'm landing the more damaging shots. And I'm looking to try to catch him right after he whiffs, or he's about to start up. See right there, just sneaking my shots in and keeping it to 1 or 2 shots. Shoots for a takedown, but I go for a takedown counter. I could have regularly denied that, but I did feel like, alright, I gotta rack up a little bit of damage. Now on the ground, I kind of realized, alright, this guy's not too good. Tries to pass there. I go for the arm bar, but here's a little secret for y'all that this guy tried to do on me, right? You notice how he's letting me get to that first gate? If I get past to the first 2 gates, if I don't complete the submission there, I stay on top now. But if once I get to the 3rd gate and I'm like committing fully to this arm bar, it's going to allow him to flip the position and get to top position here. So now this guy's doing a pretty good job of making sure I don't power up and do too much damage. However, you can't really win a round off your back unless you have rubber guard. But there he uses L1 to transition one way and change the camera angle. And what that does, it kind of like skews with the perception of like trying to deny certain things. And I realized, maybe I spoke too soon. And this guy has a little bit of brains on him. And I couldn't tell if he was baiting me to go up, maybe pre-deny right after he threw that punch. Throws that fake again, and now he shifts the camera angle again. So now I'm actually intrigued. I'm like, alright, this is good. Like, this guy's doing something different. I like it. And he gets the sweep and sweeps me down to half guard. Now, I know that overall, based on those small exchanges on the feet, I felt that I definitely had landed harder shots. And when I was on top, I definitely landed a little bit more. And I'm not going to allow him to posture up and deal any devastating strikes. So it's just a matter of being relaxed here. It is a 3-round fight, so I'm aware that any crucial error that I make can cost me the round. But so there's only a bit of time left. I can just sit here and just hold block. Not really try to arm trap or do anything. But yeah, we're presented with this issue here. How do you fight somebody who doesn't want to engage? Well, there's time on the clock. And he has to do some kind of damage in order to win this fight. And for those of you who don't know, obviously damage is the biggest thing that gets scored in this game. But on the off chance that the damage is almost even, right? On the off chance it's even, then and only then is octagon control taken into consideration. Then he shoots for a takedown again, and I hit him with the single leg counter. But this time I'm electing to stay on the feet. I thought he would low block to try to stop the leg kick there. And I'm noticing that when he goes for that lead body hook, he's following up with a rear uppercut. And I think that's something that only guys with level 5 boxing. I said he's going, I believe, like jab, uppercut, lead body hook. There it is. He's going straight, lead body hook, and he's following up with a rear uppercut to the head. And I don't think a lot of fighters are able to do that. So I'm just kind of taking my time here. And now I'm able to get off my leg kicks a little bit easier. Because I want to catch him right when he's about to start up. Because he's looking to catch me coming in. And he's just looking to get me to chase him with strikes. And that's what you never want to do. You never want to chase with strikes. If you chase with strikes, you're more than likely to gas yourself out. And then based on those hit stuns, I knew I landed some hard shots. He throws a body kick, but by virtue of me being that close, that body kick does not do the amount of damage that he probably would have wanted. And he's fainting, he's doing all this stuff, but he's not doing anything with it, right? As long as I'm aware that your end goal is to just simply interrupt me, and you don't really want to engage, and I just have to win the smaller exchanges, then I'll be alright. He's just intent on circling. He wants to get me to the cage. The cage is really dangerous to be in. I made the read there. Pull that uppercut. But the cage is a really dangerous place to be in this game. You could be winning the entirety of a fight, and if you perk by the cage, oh man, you get rocked just like that. Right now I've secured the damage. Does a good job slipping that 6-12 elbow. It's a good adjustment on his part. I've been using the elbows a lot lately. Trying to utilize them as much as I could. Just going to back off with that takedown feint. And I now have a minute left in the round. So if you know you have a round secure and you're going against somebody who simply does not want to engage, take your time, win the round. Just win the round. You know that you have to make a mistake in order for you to lose. He's moving his head. I'm going to let my stamina recover. Just going to move forward slowly. There's nothing that he could do at this moment that can drop me, that can hurt me. He's simply circling. He's just circling. Goes for a head kick, but goes again for that same animation. Go for the front kick, but I run out of time. And I'm pretty sure that I have 2 rounds in the book. I got last round. You're heading to fight. And this is when things get weird, right? So if you're losing in a 3-round fight, like clearly losing in a 3-round fight, you just took a bunch of damage, and now you just continue to take damage, it would make sense for you to press the issue. So for those of you who kind of lose patience, especially when you get somebody that plays like this, realize if it's very evidently clear that they are down on the scorecards and it's a 3-round fight, you do not have to engage as much. Like, you don't have to force an issue. Do not force a finish. That's the biggest tip I can give to a lot of people that get frustrated. Do not force a finish. So now he's trying to come a little bit forward, but he's still trying to play this footsies game. And now he's kind of turning up with the combinations. And I'm like, alright, going somewhere here. Now I'm timing the knee as he's level changing to the body. And yeah, he's just intent on now he goes all the way back. But there's 3 minutes left on the clock. Like, bro, what are you doing? You're losing. Still follows up with that straight lead body hook rear uppercut combo. That's a really good combo. It's a nightmare to deal with for Max. I'm ducking there. And these pitter-patter shots are not going to win him this round. He's already gotten dropped. He's already gotten hurt. I actually don't have to do anything for the next 2 minutes. And it just doesn't make sense to me. I was texting my girlfriend as I was just waiting for this guy to do something to make me feel threatened, but I simply did not feel threatened. And he punches the air, and the air had to call 911 because that was abuse. That all the oxygen around that area was terribly hurt by his knuckles. And he's still circling, and he's fainting at the air. And he goes for a lead body kick, and it doesn't make any sense. And I go for one of my super combos. And he's still circling outside. It's weird. Recognize that there's people in this game that are pretty weird. They may have like a plan A, but they don't have a plan B if that plan A is not working. They're wired to play a specific way, and that's how they're always going to play the game. So. Like, this is just funny to me. Like, he's so scared to engage. I went for a Superman punch off the cage. With a flying knee. And I rocked him with an elbow in close range, and this fight is done. So key things here is just not to overthrow. I made sure I didn't chase my opponent. Like, once I saw that he was circling and going in and now playing the little footsies game, I didn't get frustrated when he checked my first kick. The second thing is the takedown counters are obviously helpful. You know, you could use that with L2, R2. Only thing is that you can't take down counter the spear, and you can't take down counter when you're rocked. You can't take down counter a low single. So don't become too reliant on that, because if your muscle memory fails you, you will get taken down by anybody with a brain. And the third thing is just recognizing that I was up on the cards. I didn't have to do anything. He had not done any significant damage to me throughout the remainder of that fight, and I had stayed in the center and I controlled the center, and I was fine. Now, in contrast to that fight, that was a little bit more, required a little bit more thinking, and then my opponent kind of derailed off the thinking track. This next guy was definitely uber aggressive, and of course, you can always expect aggression from Vanderlei Silva. Here I'm running with Lyoto Machida. And this guy, I fought him before, and it's relatively simple how he likes to play. It's really just based on overhand, hook, 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 or here, like there it is. Or throw like an occasional knee. So I can be relaxed. I'm using the teeth to create distance. And you see that pattern where he's throwing that hook, hook, hook combination. So all I'm going to do is, with Machida being that he has, I believe, a counter puncher perk, his counter strikes do a lot more damage than most. Pull the third strike, hit him with the pull counter uppercut, and the fight is over in round 1. No stuns, no rocks necessary. Just a one-hitter quitter. And the way he fell down was really funny. But yeah, if you go into practice mode and you practice against those specific combinations, that's really a combination that for some reason players in Division 3 and Division 4 still struggle with. Using the pull counter by using the right stick to pull back your head, as you can see right there as I'm doing with Machida, and immediately following up with the rear uppercut, it does devastating counter damage. And as you get better at this video game, you'll see that a lot of the top players, like, they know how to use all the slip counters, all the pull counters, ducking counters, all of it. They are very, very aware of the threats before like fights get wild. And speaking of wild fights, oh man, so I'm finally I am finally playing Ngannou, and I want to do Alexei Oleinik. And I'm gonna tell you that the guy who's using Alexei Oleinik, he's pretty good. I think right now he's in the top 10 right now in ranked championships, and he's worked his way up. And he got nothing but compliments from Marshall, because just the way he fights, he uses feints to work his way in. Like, he's a really, really good striker. And I'm just thinking, like, man, Ngannou, all the power that he does, I don't feel like he's accurately represented in this game. Accurately replicated, really, due to certain things. But I'm going against Zon Do Work, and he's smart, man. And to me, Ngannou can't grapple. Like, Ngannou can't grapple, and Zon is a really, really good grappler. So I can't fight too meta against Zon's Alexei. I usually like to run with Alexei. I know where all his subs are, so I can try to deny him if he gets me down to the ground. But I know Zon is the type to key in on whatever patterns I'm making. So the feints are going to be really big in this fight. And I'm trying to make sure I'm timing that overhand as a counter against the jab. You'll see a lot of wrestlers do that in real life. They'll use that overhand, kind of throw it over the jab as they set up a takedown. Clearly, there's not going to be any wrestling done here. And I'm just trying to land good single shots. And he just does a good job of just working in and out. I would have preferred he had somebody like Kane or even Stipe or something, just because of the sub threat isn't there. But with Alexei, I got a lot more to worry about. He's going to the body. Every time he goes to the body, I want to fire up that uppercut. There's the first overhand that rocks him. He ducks, then sways his head. Nothing happens there. But then I level change again with the jab, and I managed to drop him. And now here, I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to be here. And usually against other players, right, I go up, right? Against somebody good, I usually go left or right, and he predicts that. And I don't want to move too soon here, because now Alexei has my back. So I deny that transition. And go to full guard. Now I'm gonna hit this dude's guard. I do not want to be here with Ngannou, man. I don't. So key thing here with fakes. Remember, if you don't bite on them, they don't get as much GA, but they still do. Guys still get grapple advantage from strikes. So it's very important that you throw in your own strikes to kind of offset their own grapple advantage. You see that pattern right there? He's going fake, 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 and then I can tell the real one is the triangle choke that he's going for. The triangle choke is usually on the side where they're holding onto your elbow. So I know I got the drop. And I got the rock. I think I got like 2 rocks and a drop. So this round 1 is pretty much secure. Zan already knows who this is too. Right, I'm trying so hard to be really meticulous with my shots. And even watching this now. He's just very subtly just feinting his way into the pocket. He's just level changing with that jab feint. Now clock him with another overhand for good measure. Go jab, overhand again, he pulls it. Yo, what kind of fight night matrix stuff are you doing there, bro? That was nice. I can't even front. That was nice, but caught him right as he went for a straight, I believe. And that's good for me. You know, the more damage I can get off on Alexei, the better. And that's what I kind of mean, though. Like, it's kind of hit or miss sometimes with the game. Like, sometimes the game plays out right and your counters take a dude out within 1 or 2. But I feel like with Ngannou, like, you know, you mean an overhand from Ngannou, you should be spinning for a little bit. Now he's going with the straight to intercept the lead hook I'm leading with. And now he's going keying up on my strikes. And now he's trying to throw the slip straight. Now I got to be careful. Because if he were to rock me, there he's pulling my strikes now. So he's making reads. If he were to rock me, there's a double threat of him shooting a takedown or him throwing a strike. The active chess match. Nice, and then go straight lead overhand. I didn't even know that Alexei had that.
Well, without much resistance, he continues to find a home for that jab, much like he did in the previous round.
Very subtle. And once I see him start to slip, I'm gonna start chopping at his legs. Just all right there. This thing I like to do a lot. When somebody's moving their head, anticipating to try to pull a strike, that's when you want to chop with the legs. Alright, Ngannou threw a leg kick at Junior Dos Santos, and he just, Jesus, hurt that man's leg like a baseball bat. If there's one thing I want you guys to kind of pick up on is that Zan and I, we're only reacting where we feel like we need to react. So he's not getting too overly concerned if I'm queuing up a specific combination. If he knows he can't, there's too much of a risk to counter, he's not going to go for it right then and there. Now he's feinting the overhand himself. Keep a note that, you know, head movement costs, God damn it, head movement costs stamina as well. So you gotta be meticulous with that as well. Now I'm definitely somewhere where I don't want to be. Oh man, it's fair game here, man. It's fair game. Here I'm using the undeniable fakes, but there's an easy way to get around the undeniable fakes if you have a brain. See, the ones that don't load with the yellow, those are the undeniable fakes. You can't deny that. But all you have to do is just really hit me and hold my God. All you have to do is hit me while I'm doing that nonsense, and my head off is going to get lower and lower. And he goes for the inverted triangle. And I got no stand. Like, I'm hoping like he slips or something. Like, I got no stand. And I'm going against Alexei. He put me off, man, but he somehow he messed that one up, and I was blessed. Unfortunately, here's another bad thing about that. Not only do those side control elbows rack up damage, they level the playing field a lot. Like they level the playing field so much when you got a striker versus grappler matchup, because now I don't want to get taken down. My head health is low. And that choke did some damage to my head as well. said, I'm losing this fight on the ground. So that could mean two things. It could be 1-1, right? Because it was showing my highlights. Maybe I landed a little bit more damage. But man, I kind of pushed it too much, throwing those leg kicks. That's another thing. You don't really want to throw those leg kicks too much against grapplers. But I know he's cognizant that my head health is low, so he's not really focusing on the body too much. It's just gonna be very subtle. And now he knows my head is hurt. Now this is the opportunity for him to clinch me. He's throwing those fakes. 2 fakes to the outside chip. 3 for me on the single collar. This is quick stuff. Faking, sneaking in those single collar punches. Managed to break out. But that second round was, and he slips the uppercut, so he's keening on that as well. Still going for the leg kick. So I can try to rack up some damage. Gotta be ready to pre-deny. He's going with that straight lead overhand. And there he racks me. He rocks me with that. Just gotta stay relaxed. Hit him with a straight. Hit him with a lead hook, and I sit him down. I'm not going down. I'm not going back there. There's 2 minutes left, and unlike the first guy I fought, Zahn is patient to an extent, and he'll figure out what he has to do. He'll figure out what he has to do to win. And then he gets it straight. And now he's hitting me with these boxing combos from Alexa. Mainly straights, but I can't afford to sway into the long strike right now. My head health is low, and if it's flashing, that increases the risk of me getting knocked down. Tagging up the body, trying to get him to open up his head, because I know his head is hurt. Both of our heads are hurt right now. My end goal right here to set up another head strike, and the fight is over. Oh my God.
Outstanding timing and accuracy for a knockout victory.
Wow. Wow, man. That's such an underutilized combination. Hit him with the lead body hook. And what happened there is that there was a hit stun animation. So watch right here. The lead body hook. In that moment that hit stun is there, that's a free window to land a strike. Not that necessarily I was banking on it, but because he was hurt, that usually increases the chances of a hit stun. And then he got that hit stun to the body. His liver was hurt. Opened up the head exactly how I wanted it to go. And I managed to get the KO. Good fight, Zahn. This is episode 4 of the Fight IQ series. And best believe that fight took a lot of brain power out of me. Again, if you have any suggestions for who you want me to use, let me know in the comment section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support on this series. I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Romero 17, I am out of here. Much respect to you, Zahn.
Gets the job done yet again, and no surprise with some style points to go with the win. Absolutely remarkable what this Cameroonian Frenchman has accomplished thus far.